1941. You want to talk about acting? We got Dan Akroyd. We have Ned Beatty. We have John Belushi. Lorraine Gary. Murray Hamilton. Christopher Lee. Tim Matheson. Toshira Mifune. Warren Oates. Robert Stack. Treat Williams. Nancy Allen. Lucille Benson. Jordan Bryan. John Candy. Elijah Cook. The Dummy. Eddie Deason. Bobby DeCoco. Diane Kay. Perry Lang. Patty Lupone. J. Patrick McNamara. Frank McRae. Stephen Mond. Slim Pickens. Wendy Jo Sperber. Lionel Stander. Dub Taylor. Ignatius Wolfington. Christian Zika. Joseph Flattery. And also surprise appearances by Laverne DeFazio, played by Penny Marshall. 1941 is a fun comedy directed by Steven Spielberg. It's not a great movie. He was ripped on this movie. People say directors have duds. A lot of people, critics, say that 1941 was a dud for Steven Spielberg. Now, mind you, when I first saw this years ago, when it came out, I was like, it wasn't that great. It was bad when I first saw it. Looking back at it now, the second, third time, I enjoy it. Maybe because I'm older and I can look at it retrospectively. The ensemble cast is magnificent. Maybe back then it was like too much. But when you look back at it now, it was perfect. A perfect blend of actors, each playing off each other. Each had a small bit role. You have Mickey Rourke. He was pretty much invisible, but he was in the movie. Mickey Rourke, a young Mickey Rourke. And he's in this movie. Dan Akroyd has some memorable lines and memorable moments in this film. John Candy has some great comedic stuff in this film. Everybody has a little bit of everything to offer. Ned Beatty was wonderful in this movie. Diane Kay, you remember Diane Kay? 1941. Released in 1979. 1941 was directed by Steven Spielberg, written by Robert Zemeckis. It stars an all-star cast. 1941. It would be unfair to argue that 1941 by Steven Spielberg lacks pacing. Yes, it has everything, but everything at the same speed. The film constantly flings jokes at us until they make us feel lightheaded. Blockbuster comedy is one of the trickiest genres to tackle, and this one tries so hard to wow us that we want to break. It's a joyfully unorganized mess full of heart that makes us admire Dr. Strangelove's even more. But overall, 1941 is a fun movie. It takes place in 1941 after they just got Pearl Harbor was just bombed. They're pretty much worried that the Japanese are going to They're going to blow up. They want to blow up Hollywood. And so people are panicking that they're going to be targeted because they already blew up Pearl Harbor. And now they're going to invade the U.S. and they want to go up in arms and defend the country. And so all these cast of characters team up to try to knock out the Japanese sub that's on the coastline just waiting to attack. The story takes place in the early days of World War II, when Japanese submarines are discovered somewhere off Long Beach, and there are widespread rumors of a Japanese invasion throughout the West Coast. California is racked with war fever, with every red-blooded young man desiring to wear a uniform, dance halls packed to the sounds of Glenn Miller, and rioting zoot suits on Hollywood Boulevard. Some of this material appears to have started out as a series of set pieces, according to Spielberg, and there's a dance hall sequence that really works well. While Andrews Sisters impersonators lose control at the microphone, servicemen and their girlfriends engage in a dancing competition that turns into a hybrid of fight, the main dance routine from Seven Brides or Seven Brothers. This segment has a lovely goofy air to it because Spielberg lets it go till it develops its own rhythm. However, the majority of the other content in 1941 seems haphazardly thrown together, as though the editors were trying to fit everything in as quickly as possible. The story also takes place where a guy falls in love with a girl, and he is adamant on being the best dancer that he can, and he wants to enter a dancing contest, to get money to have a better life. And so he is adamant that he is going to dance with this girl at the contest and win the big prize. Steven Spielberg had a lot on his plate. I believe he was already directing E.T. He finished Jaws in 1975. So he was already doing E.T. when he was doing 1941 and 1979. He did a magnificent job. I liked it. Again, when I first saw it, I thought it was terrible. A lot of people criticize him for that. But when you look at the body of work at Steven Spielberg, and you look at this movie, it holds up. I enjoyed the film. Seeing it a second, third time, John Belushi was good. Like, if you want to look at him critically, I just thought he was over the top with his Animal House shtick in 1941. That's how I saw it. The film ultimately devolves into an attack on our senses, a never-ending sequence of explosions, screams, climaxes, sight gags, double takes, and ethnic jokes that are ultimately simply not that amusing. John Belushi, who plays a P-40 fighter pilot searching for a Japanese and ultimately crash landing in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard, is the closest thing in the film has to a main character. Previous instances of military aircraft swarming the street have featured numerous special effects sequences that must have been challenging to produce, but the results are so jumbled that they confound rather than entertain us. The special effects in 1941 seem haphazard overall. With a few standout moments such as a rogue Ferris wheel, how can we determine whether the major narrative points are funny if we don't understand their significance? But again, it's not a John Belushi film, even though he was billed at the top. All the other he's not in that movie that much, but all the other actors, Treat Williams, phenomenal actor in this film. It's pretty much Treat Williams was all over the film. Wendy Jo Sperber, she sadly died way too young. She was on Bosom Buddies, and she was also in Moving Violations and Stewardess School. I love Wendy Jo Sperber. She was a phenomenal actress, very, very funny, heavy-set woman, but that made her even funnier, and she was a powerhouse, and she unfortunately died way too soon. But when you look back now in 2024, 1941 is a nice movie. That's a nice little gem. Not many people think about it, of Steven Spielberg movies. They look at the blockbusters. 1941 will not disappoint. If you're a fan of ensemble casts, this movie is loaded with an all-star cast. If anything, the movie will make you smile as you see each actor and actress from the past show up on screen, the big screen. The fact that Spielberg could get together all these actors and actresses in one film is beautiful. Whether you like the film or not, to see these actors on the big screen, these actresses that are long gone now, it's breathtaking. And I marvel every time I watch this film, all the talent that has come and gone before us. Out of 5 stars, I give this 3.5 stars. It's kind of floppy. Some points are good. It's not a great movie. It's an okay, good movie. It's definitely well worth a watch. Give it a go at least one time. That will not disappoint you. But pop it in over and over again, maybe not. But once or twice, yes. And if you want to see some old Hollywood actors and actresses, pop it in the DVD and check it out. Steven Spielberg did a good job in this movie. It's not his great work, but it's nice. For what he did, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I could watch it again because I like looking at these old actors and actresses that aren't here with us anymore. So give it a shot. If you didn't like 1941, give it a shot again, because Dan Akroyd will make you smile. John Candy will make you smile. John Belushi will make you smile. He'll make you laugh. But when you watch it critically, you can say, that's not right. That's not good. That was flat. But if you look at it from a fan, it's a nice, fun, good movie. All right? That's my review for 1941. Thank you for watching. I'm Tony, and I'll see you all in the next video.